The silent majority is absolutely real. Let's break this down. What's going on, guys? So, I want to welcome you guys back, but I also want to talk about something very, very common in today's politics, right? This idea of a silent minority or silent majority. That there's this group of people who are tired of the left and tired of all the politics, and they just want life to go back to some form of normal where everything isn't politicized, right? Some people on the left, or maybe just some regular people, might think that this is full of baloney, right? That the people that are supporting Trump in 2020 are going to be very adamant about it and going to be very open and straightforward about it, and that is just not the case. One big example of that, all right, one huge example of that is our boy Jonathan Isaac, who, if you don't know who he has played for the Orlando Magic, and he is the only person coming back into the NBA who has stood up for the national anthem. Literally every single other player has been kneeling and wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt. So the interesting thing about Jonathan Isaac is that he didn't do this for political reasons. He did this for a reason of faith, spirituality, and belief in God. And he said that the only thing that can really unite us is not Black Lives Matter, but and this is roughly speaking. I'm not quoting him, but it's more important that we unite under Jesus Christ because He's the gospel. He has given us the gospel, and He's the only one that saves us. So he's been the butt of many a jokes online. He's been ridiculed. He's been talked crap about, and even recently, in his most recent game, he tore something in his leg. He fell and he got hurt. So here's what I want to address. It's hilarious to me that we can look at something like Jonathan Isaac and what he has done, and he can be the number one sold jersey besides LeBron James. So I mean, obviously you're not going to outsell LeBron, right? He's King James, but he's the next best. He's the biggest brand that the NBA has right now, and I find that super ironic. So what does the left do in order to discredit this guy, right? When he falls, when he hurts himself, any other NBA player falls and hurts himself, everybody's wondering, when is he coming back? What's going to happen? How's the team going to do? No. What do? They make fun of him, and they say, well, maybe if you would have worn a Black Lives Matter shirt, I'm wondering if the black ancestors didn't come and push you and trip you because you didn't wear a Black Lives Matter shirt. So there's this disdain for people that stand up, but at the same time, those people are the most vocal. The people who are so disgusted by this guy for not wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt and standing up at a basketball game, right? Which is hilarious to me. But then when he hurts himself, they're the first ones to make fun of it, and then he becomes a best-selling jersey in the NBA right now, besides LeBron James. Now, to me, that just goes to show that there is a silent majority that Trump needs to capitalize on. Now, this is secondary as well to personal experience, which is anecdotal, of course. But since I've started posting about stuff like this, since I started my YouTube channel, there's been tons and tons of people personally messaging me and saying, look, I'm so glad you're saying something. I work at X, Y, and Z, or I own this kind of business, and I can't really speak up right now. I don't want to go public with this. I just don't want to hear it from my leftist friends. I don't want to deal with all that. And so what's happening is not so much that the majority is silent, but that they're being silenced, right? It's this idea that if you bring something to the forefront, like let's say, I don't know, men can't be women, all of a sudden you're outcasted from society. You're removed from the public discourse because how could you hold such a traditional and conservative opinion? You're a bigot. You're denying the humanity of other people, which to me is the most ridiculous rebuttal to the phrase "men are not women." It's not, oh, the science is settled, or scientifically speaking, men can't. No, it's like you're denying somebody's humanity, and it's not true. We're not denying anybody's humanity just because we don't think that you can biologically change your gender and have it be true. Another example would be something as simple as saying that Black Lives Matter is founded on a Marxist principle or Marxist theology, and therefore they just want to categorize people by race. Now, some people hear that and they're like, oh, that's such a tinfoil hat conspiracy. It's not true. You don't understand what they're doing for the black community. And I just ask them, show me. Show me what they're doing for the black community. Show me numbers. Show me events that they've had to raise money for people in the black community. Show me where the money is going. You know, are they actually, have they fed one family? Have they helped one kid get into school? Have they done anything at all? And the answer is no. And so it's not a tinfoil hat conspiracy to say that Black Lives Matter is a Marxist movement that is disguising itself as helping the black community, when really it's just trying to split everybody up into categories and aim towards the destruction of Western civilization, because that's what they want. They want to dismantle the patriarchy. They want to dismantle the the Western pre-described nuclear family. You know, they want to stop all the things that make our civilization great. They want to remove them, but they have nothing to replace them with. And that's the thing. So this is cultural Marxism, right? It's not classical in the sense that it's not about it's not only about economic status, but it's also primarily about your culture and what color you are, where you come from. Are you an immigrant? Are you not? And these are the things that Black Lives Matter holds to very fiercely. So all of this is just to say that there is a silent majority. And that silent majority is very, very anxious to get to whenever the elections are going to be. I don't know if they're going to be in November. And they are the ones that are really considering switching sides. A lot of these people who have messaged me and have told me their feelings about what's going on did not vote for Trump in 2016, man. Let me tell you. They voted for, they either didn't vote at all because they didn't care, or they voted for Hillary just because, you know, oh, well, Hillary's going to win anyway. Might as well vote for Hillary. But that's not true anymore. People have been forced into political places by movements that force regular things that should exist outside of the political space to become political. Things like police brutality, or things like prison reform, or things that have political solutions have now been pushed into the culture, and we're being forced to deal with those in our everyday lives. And if we deal with them the wrong way, if we have the wrong opinion, then we are somehow bigots or sexist or racist or homophobes. And that is the reason that people are getting pushed, because most people in this country are very, very loving to their freedom. They want to be free regardless of what happens. So if it doesn't matter which side of the aisle, if one side of the aisle starts pushing for them to do something, they'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like it. There's not going to be a rational, like, people seem to think that getting red pilled is the only way to become a Republican or to vote Republican, and that's just not true. You can easily just be culturally pushed to say, you know what, screw you, I'm voting for Trump. Because people, let's face it, and me included, people can be petty, you know, but that's what we have to be careful for. If you're on the left side of the aisle, that's what you have to be careful for. You should be very careful when you are criticizing people, making them judge their own whiteness, making them denounce their white privilege, telling them that they're Uncle Toms, or telling them that they're race traitors because they're Hispanic and they're voting for Trump. When you're telling people these things, be very careful of who's listening and who you're telling this to, because you could just push them right over to the right. And that's a fair warning, because I want to see unity in this country, but it's not going to happen if we have one side of the aisle consistently just ad hominem attacking every single person that disagrees with them. So keep that in mind. Make sure you go out and buy a Jonathan Isaac jersey, because I just ordered one now. And let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know who you want me to talk to next. I have some very cool guests coming, but I think this is a good conversation to have. What is this all about? And if you made it this far, you're the real MVP. And thank you guys for stopping by. My name's Angel.